I stepped onto my parents' porch with a gift bag in one hand and my son's small mittened fingers curled around the other. Snow clung to the welcome mat, untouched, like they hadn't expected us to come. They had told me firmly, "No kids this year. We want an adults-only Christmas. It'll be quieter." But the moment the front door swung open, I heard it, 3 high-pitched laughs from the living room. My sister's kids. All of them. Running circles around the Christmas tree my parents claimed would be too fragile for children to be near. And something inside me cooled. Not cracked. Not shattered. Just froze into clarity. There was a time my parents made me feel chosen. The responsible one. The dependable one. The daughter who did everything right. I clung to that, especially after my husband died, leaving me with our newborn son and a grief sharp enough to carve me hollow. My parents told me I could rely on them. They promised support. They promised help. They promised I wasn't alone. But my sister, Melissa, was always their son. Reckless, adored, forgiven before she even sinned. I used to think giving her more was their way of compensating for her instability. Now I know it was simply favoritism, disguised as concern. The first sign wasn't loud. It was quiet. A shift. My parents started rescheduling babysitting. Then they began questioning my decisions, where my son went to daycare, how I spent the insurance payout, whether I was coping well. It sounded like worry, felt like surveillance. Then came the conversation I wasn't meant to hear. My mother on speakerphone while I stood outside the kitchen. "She's still struggling. I don't think she's as put together as she pretends." My father's voice, agreeing. "We may have to step in if she spirals." And Melissa, "Well, if she can't handle things, maybe I could take the extra support. I mean, the money's going to be wasted anyway." That was when my heartbeat slowed. Not panic. Not rage. Strategy. I didn't confront them. I didn't defend myself. Defense is reactive. I prefer precision. Instead, I checked every joint account, every insurance clause, every legal tether they still had to my son or finances. I closed what needed closing, redirected what needed redirecting, locked down what they assumed they controlled. Meanwhile, I played the part. Polite, grateful, overwhelmed. Let them think they were right about me, fragile, dependent, unaware. People with power get sloppy when they think you're weak. The week before Christmas, my parents called with the no kids rule. "We just want a peaceful evening," my mother said. I knew it wasn't about peace. It was about image. My sister's kids fit the picture. Mine didn't. I didn't argue. I just said softly, "Of course, I understand." While they prepared for their curated holiday, I prepared something sharper. I gathered every receipt, every transfer, every message proving how much I'd supported them financially since my husband's death. Quiet contributions they relied on. Mortgage help. Medical bills. The emergency loan for Melissa they pretended came from a family friend. And I put it in a neat folder. Not as evidence for court, but clarity for them. People rarely see the full picture of what you give until you take it away. So there I was, standing in their doorway, my son's coat still dusted with snow. My mother froze when she saw him. Panic quickly masked. "Oh, you brought him." "I did," I said, "since it seems children are allowed." She followed my eyes to the living room. Melissa's kids were tearing open early presents, ribbons flying like confetti. My mother's face drained. "Those are different. They deserve to be here." I felt my son press closer to my leg. He didn't understand the words, but he felt the temperature of them. "And mine doesn't?" I asked. My father stepped in, voice firm in that patronizing way he'd mastered. "Let's not make a scene. You know what we meant." I smiled then, small, controlled. A smile that always scared my late husband because it meant I had already made a decision. "I'm not here to make a scene," I said. "I'm here to inform you." I handed my father the folder. "You won't be receiving any more support from me, financial or otherwise. Not now, not ever." My mother blinked. "Support? We never asked." "Yes," I said. "You did. Repeatedly. And I gave it freely. But here's the truth. People who treat my son as lesser don't get access to a single part of my life. Or my resources. Melissa stepped in, scoffing. You're overreacting. You act like you're so important. I looked at her calm. Tell me, Melissa, how long can you hold onto your house without the payments I've been covering? Her mouth fell open. My parents' faces collapsed. I lifted my son into my arms. He deserves better than this. And so do I. Then I left. No shouting. No tears. Just the sound of their perfect Christmas cracking as the door closed behind me. Driving home, my son fell asleep in the back seat, his breath fogging the window, small and peaceful. I expected sadness. Instead, there was relief. A clean, sharp lightness I hadn't felt in years. People think revenge is about anger, but mine wasn't. It was about alignment, about removing my son from a legacy of conditional love, about choosing us finally unapologetically. My parents taught me something valuable that night. Family isn't who you're born to, it's who treats your child like they belong. And I'm done belonging to anyone who doesn't choose him.